Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel and welcome to our continuing coverage of 2019. By continuing, I mean this is it. We're done talking about 2019. We will be moving into, well, games, and next week we'll be starting our top 100 games of all time. This will be one of the shorter videos, probably, of the bunch because it's kind of something you just look at, right? The top 10 best artwork of 2019. These are games that I like the artwork of. I don't let whether I enjoy the game or not. In fact, there's at least one game on here that I'm not that big of a fan of, but hey, you can't argue with good art. Art is certainly subjective. There are games I don't like the art for, other people do. I tried to pick different styles, and I'm definitely going to miss some games with beautiful artwork that you will all remind me of at the end. So, not much else to say, but let's get started with number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10 is a game that has some fairly mild artwork, I guess, but I liked how the artwork bled between flowers and buildings, and this is Bloomtown. Bloomtown has some really cute artwork in a sense on it. I think cute's the best word for it. You can see here on the cover just how nice the game looks. The different buildings that were drawn in this game has the little black and white people. I don't know, I really like the style of this game, and as the tiles, you're placing them on your board, it just had a really good look to it. The tiles, it's always a tricky thing having tiles that are distinct gameplay function-wise. In this case, each building scores in a different way when you place them, but that also look good and give you the feeling. I mean, because this game, the theme is a little loose in it. I don't even know what the flower part of the game has to do with the theme, but I like how it looks, and that certainly helps step it away from just being a straight abstract strategy game. So my number 10 is Bloomtown.
Number 9.
Number 9 is a game I haven't played yet, but I really like the look of it. And of course, this is a shared universe, so I'm going to see more. This artwork is in more than just this one game, and that is Aftermath. So Aftermath, which is from Plaid Hat Games, kind of like a sequel maybe to Mice and Mystics, an adventure style, but I like the way it looks. It's this post-apocalyptic world with mice, and that's just a cool look to it. The artist here is pretty much very similar to the artist that we see in a lot of Plaid Hat games, and you can even see it in their smaller Aftermath card game that they have. And again, it's really great artwork. I'm not a big post-apocalyptic fan, but when you turn all the characters into mice and cats and things like that, then I'm more on board. So my number 9 is Aftermath.
Number 8.
My number 8 is a game which I really enjoy. It has kind of wonk. This is a very subjective pick. I don't know that everyone's going to like this artwork, but I enjoy it, and that's the artwork from Villagers. Now, Villagers has this kind of cartoonish artwork. I mean, it looks almost like they're step out of a Disney cartoon to some degree, but it also has almost app-style artwork. It's very minimalistic, right, to some degree. The whole design of this game is minimalistic, and so is the art, but it's just, this art attracted me. I think this is a very clean-looking game, and so kind of a point here for graphic design, but I actually did like the different art. It was distinctive. The colors used were very evocative. I don't know what it is. Again, this is one I doubt would be on many people's top 10 at all, but for me, it was one that I enjoyed a lot. So my number 8 is Villagers.
Number 7.
This next one is more of a classical style of art in a game. Like, I've seen games with this style before, but you can't argue with what works, and that's Res Arcana. Res Arcana, the cover here looks really cool. All the different magicians, whoever did this art just did a really fantastic job. And as you look at the different cards in the game that show locations and devices and stuff, I just like it. Look, I know that this artwork's done a lot in games, but this whole classical style of drawing, like we see this in a lot of games, but it still works, and I thought it was really well done in Res Arcana, my number 7.
Number 6.
Number 6 for me is a lot of people's number 1, probably. But again, art's subjective, but the art in this game, no denying that it is well done. It brings the theme to life in probably the most popular game that came out this past year, and that's Wingspan. I mean, the cover itself does a good job. It almost doesn't need the name, right? Wingspan, it just shows you the wingspan, right? But all the bird art throughout the game and everything, each of the birds look really well done, the backgrounds and stuff, but just taking a look, each bird card and every single card in this game is different, a different bird for each one. They all look fantastic. So my number 6 is Wingspan.
Number 5.
Number 5 is very similar to Wingspan, actually. This is just more silly artwork, I guess, but silly/serious, and that is Darwin's Choice. Now, Darwin's Choice is a game in which you're putting animals together and making weird things. You can see here in the cover, there's a rhino with crab legs and an alligator tail. But I like this. This whole game is about putting creatures together and forming weird-looking creatures. But I thought the art was really well done. It looks very scientific-y. I mean, when you put these creatures, they look like actual animals. Except when you put them together, then they look all weird. And I think they did a good job at portraying this in this game. I still have not actually played this one. It's on my Get It Played Soon Vasel pile. But it looks really good, and I like how it comes together. That's Darwin's Choice, my number 5.
Number 4.
So here's one of the games that I'm actually not a big fan of. I thought the game was meh, but the artwork in it was stupendous, and that is Deep Blue. Now, Deep Blue is not the only underwater game. Aquatica also has some great artwork, but Deep Blue, that cover is just one of my favorite covers. That is a gorgeous cover. It shows these divers going underneath to dig in this wreck, and that art is just throughout the whole game. On the cards of this game, on the board itself, the whole thing is just really pretty. It's a little hard maybe to see from this far away shot, but that board is gorgeous. I like the pictures. Days of Wonder always gets fantastic art, and so again, yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Deep Blue, but there's no denying they did a really good job with the art of the game. My number 4.
Number 3.
My number 3, I really enjoyed this. Again, it was a little minimalistic, this game, but I thought against a background of white, the art really popped here, and this is Inuit Snowfolk. The cover itself, I really like that. That cover makes me want to play the game. And then all the cards throughout the game. And there's lots of different cards of animals and different people. And they have a very strong color background to them. And you need to, because colors matter in this game. But they also just look good. This is a very evocative game. And it's, again, not super strong on the theme. There's a little bit of theme in there, but the cards help that. And this is one of those cases where I think art brings this a little bit more to life. And every time I play this game, one of the reasons I enjoy it is because the cards look that good. My number 3, Inuit Snowfolk.
Number 2.
Psych! I actually put both games on my list. Aquatica is my number 2. Okay, so you can tell I have a thing for this underwater sea stuff. I really do. Like if I go watch one of those IMAXs where they go under the water, whew, I love how it looks. This one's even spookier than the other one. Like you see that ship there, and then underneath is that a shark? What is that? That's a massive beast. And in the game itself, now there's 2 kinds of cards in this game. So there's the people cards, and the artwork's good on those. And then there's the background cards of the areas. I would frame those. I'd blow those all up and put them on my wall. They are gorgeous. And they're smaller in this picture here, but just the whole thing. Yeah, I thought Deep Blue was good. Aquatica is amazing. So my number 2 is Aquatica.
And finally, number 1.
I bet when people do my top 10s and guess what my number 1s are, that sometimes they're often correct. I don't think many people would have picked this for my number 1. I didn't even think about it at first when I was going through, but I realized, I just played this game a couple months ago, how much the art matters for this game. The art tells the story in this game, and that is Call to Adventure. Now, Call to Adventure, which the art on the cards are mostly paintings, or they look like paintings. And what Call to Adventure is you're telling the story of your life. You're going through, and you can see here a squire who enlisted in the king's army, planned a city's defenses, banished a ghost, was an honorable thrill seeker, the dark rider, wins a foe's loyalty, and the people's champion. But the art on each of these cards just really struck me. Again, these feel like paintings I would put up on my wall. And I'm really excited to see the thematic versions of this game that are going to come out this year and I think the following year. And I'm looking forward to that because I really enjoyed these pictures. This game is a kind of a little mechanical style game that tells a story about your life, and that story comes almost exclusively from the title of the card and the art in the card, but it makes sense, and I really enjoy it. A lot of really cool art in this one. That is Call to Adventure, my number 1. All right. What did I miss? I mean, there's a lot of good art games. I mean, we can go on all day. It would be probably easier to list the games with bad art than with good art. Someone here mentioned Escape Plan. Yeah, that's good. I like Escape Plan, the aesthetics of it, a ton. Okay, that's why it was number 1 on my components list, spoiler. And the graphic design, I think the art in Escape Plan is good. It just doesn't make my top 10. I think Ian O'Toole is a great graphic designer. I think he's a good artist. These are people that I really like the art for these. Let's see, what other games? Mysterium did not come out this year, or Dixit. They have cool art on them for sure. Parks. Now, yeah, I just got to play Parks. That's all there is to it. I've seen the cover and everything, and Parks looks really good. I'm sure that it would be on the short list if I had looked at the art more for the game. Detective City of Angels has good art in that. Obscurio, I'm sure the art in that's fine. I haven't played it, but it looks like, you know, the same artwork as Dixit and Mysterium and all those other games. Carnival of Monsters had some good art, yes. Call to Adventure has a Stormlight Archive version coming, yes. And Sanderson did finish book 4. I saw him tweeting about it live. I'm very excited about that. Cloudspire has some nice artwork for sure. Let's see what else. Horrified. Horrified had good artwork. I really liked the vibe that Horrified gave off, that's for sure. That was a really cool looking game. And Museum, yes. Museum is Vincent Dutrait. Okay, Vincent Dutrait could just fill the whole top 10 himself from 2019. I don't know if he's did 10 games in 2019, but it felt like it. Vincent Dutrait's artwork is fantastic. It's a Wonderful World had really good art. Atlantis Rising had good art. Tainted Grail has sad but very good art. Death May Die, meh, I don't care about that one. I'm sure the artwork's fine, but I mean, you see one Cthulhu thing, you see them all. In fact, if you show me a picture from Death May Die and a picture of Arkham Horror, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell you the difference if I just saw them without all the corresponding stuff. For all I know, they reused some of the art. I don't know. Maybe they didn't, but who knows. Pearlbrook and Tapestry. Yeah, I don't know about Tapestry. Tapestry art's okay, to the point where I'm struggling to remember it. Pearlbrook, though, is very, very good. Arboretum is nice artwork. Grim Masquerade has good artwork. Yes, and yes. Alrighty, well that's it. That's it for the week. That's it for 2019. We'll be back live next week. So there's a couple live things coming on Monday. First of all, I'll be doing a live Q&A, so come back and say hi to me there. As we launch our Kickstarter together, I just pressed the button on the Kickstarter. Everything looks good. We're still making a few minor changes, but it's almost ready to go. Back to Kickstarter. Think about the Kickstarter starting at noon Eastern Standard Time next week. Also, we'll be starting our top 100 games of all time, so we hope that you enjoy that and join us for that. Alrighty, well that's it, folks. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. Oh, and Unmatched, that's good artwork. Yes, Unmatched has great artwork. And you've been watching the top 10 artwork at this point in time, subjectively by Tom Vasel on the Dice Tower.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.